December 2023. A Philippine supply boat tries to reach its own troops. Chinese Coast Guard blocks the way. Water cannons blast. The crew gets drenched. This happens in Philippine waters. The West Philippine Sea, your waters, your territory. And for years, China has been taking it piece by piece. They built artificial islands, placed missiles, stationed ships, all in areas that belong to the Philippines. But something changed. 2 new military bases are rising in the Philippines right now. American and Filipino forces working together, and China is watching. Because these bases protect something China wants desperately. Your oil, your gas. Trillions of pesos worth of energy sitting under Philippine waters. And this time, you're not giving it up. Let's be clear about what we're talking about. The West Philippine Sea holds an estimated 5.4 billion barrels of oil and 55.1 trillion cubic feet of natural gas. At current prices, that's worth over 16 trillion pesos. 16 trillion. Right now, the Philippines imports 95% of its oil. You pay global prices. When oil spikes, your transportation costs spike. Food prices go up. Everything gets more expensive. Your Malampaya gas field powers 30% of Luzon's electricity. But it's running out. Production drops every year. By 2027, it could be depleted. That means blackouts, higher electricity bills, more imported fuel. But Reed Bank alone could replace Malampaya 3 times over. The Recto Bank area has even more. Energy security for decades, lower power costs, economic independence. And China has spent years making sure you never touch it. 2012. Scarborough Shoal. Philippine and Chinese vessels face off. The Philippines backs down after the US advises restraint. China never leaves. You lost Scarborough. And China learned the lesson. Take it, build on it, make it permanent. Second Thomas Shoal. The Philippines grounded the BRP Sierra Madre there in 1999 to maintain presence. Filipino Marines live on that rusting ship. Every resupply mission gets blocked, harassed, hit with water cannons. China wants to starve them out. While blocking Philippine ships, China drills. Chinese survey vessels map your seabed. Chinese fishing fleets strip your waters bare. 2016. The World Court rules in your favor. The 9-dash line has no legal basis. The West Philippine Sea belongs to the Philippines. China calls it worthless paper. The ships stay, the drilling continues. The harassment goes on. Filipino fishermen get chased from their own fishing grounds. Your Coast Guard gets outnumbered 10-1. You have sovereignty on paper. China has control on the water. Energy companies won't invest. Too risky. China threatens any company that tries to drill in Philippine waters. Your resources stay in the ground while you keep importing fuel. Until now. You need to understand the military gap. The Philippine Navy has 37 ships. China has over 700. The Philippine Air Force has 12 fighter jets. China has over 1,200. China's Southern Theater Command alone outnumbers the entire Philippine military. One Chinese aircraft carrier group has more firepower than everything the Philippines owns combined. China spends $230 billion per year on defense. The Philippines spends $4 billion. You are outspent 57-1. When Philippine Coast Guard approaches Ayungin Shoal, 40 Chinese vessels show up. Militia boats. Coast Guard cutters. Navy ships pretending to be civilian. You send 3 ships, they send 40. This is why the bases matter. The Philippines cannot match China ship for ship, plane for plane. But the United States operates 11 aircraft carrier strike groups. China has 3. The US has 2,000 fifth-generation fighters. China has 200. Deterrence works when the cost of aggression is too high. Alone, the Philippines cannot raise that cost high enough. With American forces operating from Philippine bases, the calculation changes completely. These bases work the same way American bases work in Japan and South Korea. Presence prevents conflict. Countries with US bases on their soil have not been invaded. Not once since those agreements started. China holds massive military drills to intimidate Taiwan. But Taiwan hosts no American bases. The Philippines now does. That difference matters. Here's why this matters to your daily life. If the Philippines develops reed bank and extracts that natural gas, your electricity prices could drop 20 to 30%. Stable energy means foreign investment. Factories get built when power is cheap and reliable. That means jobs, manufacturing growth, export opportunities. Vietnam developed offshore gas despite Chinese pressure. Malaysia did too. Their energy security improved. Costs went down. Industries grew. Right now, Filipinos pay some of the highest electricity rates in Asia. Energy independence changes that math completely. Filipino fishermen get their waters back. The fishing industry employs 1.6 million people directly. Millions more depend on it. Access to traditional fishing grounds means food security and livelihoods. Energy revenue funds infrastructure, education. Healthcare. Every barrel of oil extracted from Philippine waters is money that stays in the Philippine economy instead of going to foreign suppliers. This is about the next generation. Do they inherit an energy-dependent nation paying premium prices forever? Or do they inherit energy security and economic independence? These two bases are not just about military presence. They are about making it possible for the Philippines to develop what already belongs to Filipinos. Does this increase tension? Yes. China will push back harder. More harassment, more diplomatic pressure, more shows of force. But here's the reality. Appeasing China did not work. Stepping back did not work. The arbitration ruling did not work. China took more every time the Philippines showed restraint. The Philippines is not looking for conflict. These bases are defensive, but defense requires capability. You cannot defend what you cannot reach. You cannot protect what you cannot monitor. The alliance with the United States is not new. The Mutual Defense Treaty has existed since 1951. What's new is actually using it to protect Philippine interests. Every country in Southeast Asia is watching. Vietnam, Malaysia, Indonesia, they all face Chinese pressure. They all want to see if standing firm actually works. When the first gas platform starts operating in Reed Bank, it proves something. You can develop your own resources. You can defend your own territory. You can say no to bullying and make it stick. Two bases, Northern Luzon. American and Filipino forces side by side. 16 trillion pesos in energy resources, sitting under Philippine waters, waiting for development. China is not leaving, but now neither are you. Energy independence starts with security. Security starts with presence. Presence starts with the will to defend what's yours. The West Philippine Sea belongs to the Philippines. The resources belong to Filipinos. And for the first time in years, the Philippines has the backing to make that mean something. This is not about geopolitics for the sake of geopolitics. This is about cheaper electricity, better jobs, food security, a future where the Philippines controls its own economic destiny. The bases are being built right now. The exploration agreements are being signed. The future is being decided. Stay informed. Subscribe to Global Pulse for more coverage on how global events shape the Philippines and Filipino lives. Because what happens in the West Philippine Sea does not stay in the West Philippine Sea. It reaches your home, your bills, your future.